The years leading up to 2025 felt like a perpetual winter for Arsenal. Hope was a commodity in desperately short supply, a feeling whispered about from a bygone era rather than something tangible. The Emirates Stadium, once a fortress of beautiful football, had become a library of sighs and frustrations. A lone Arsenal fan sitting in a near-empty row at the Emirates, head in hands. Supporters loyal to the core trudged to matches more out of duty than desire. Amidst the swirling storm of doubt and negativity, one man stood as a bulwark of defiance: Mikel Arteta. He had faced the calls for his dismissal. He had weathered the brutal criticism, yet his belief never wavered. In press conferences, he spoke not of problems, but of his project. He saw the foundations being laid brick by painstaking brick. He was building a culture, not just a team. Every legendary season is punctuated by moments that etch themselves into the collective memory. The first truly defining moment arrived on a rain-swept October evening at Old Trafford. Down 1-0 with less than 10 minutes to go, the familiar sinking feeling began to creep in. A ferocious press led by Declan Rice forced a turnover. The ball was worked wide to Bukayo Saka, who delivered a pinpoint cross for Gabriel Jesus to head home an equaliser. The small pocket of away fans erupted, a pocket of noise and belief against a sea of stunned silence. Then came the North London derby at home in January, a match that always carries its own unique pressure. Arsenal dominated the first half, racing to a 2-0 lead with goals of breathtaking quality. Yet the opposition fought back. In previous years, this was where Arsenal would have wilted. Instead, they stood tall. Perhaps the most cinematic moment came in April, away to Chelsea. But substitute Leandro Trossard chased down a seemingly lost cause and unleashed an unstoppable shot into the top corner. The transformation of the team was mirrored by an equally profound transformation in the stands. The Emirates Stadium, once a place of anxious murmurs and palpable tension, was reborn as a roaring fortress of sound and colour. It started with small rituals. The pre-match anthem, The Angel, North London Forever, was no longer just sung. It was belted out with a passion that made the ground tremble. The crowd became the proverbial 12th man, a genuine force in the game. When an opposition player dallied on the ball, a collective roar would descend from the stands, urging the Arsenal players to press. This emotional crescendo reached its peak on the final day of the season. The sound that greeted the final whistle was not just a celebration of a trophy, it was an outpouring of years of pent-up emotion. At the heart of Arsenal's astonishing revival was a simple, unspoken pact among the players. It was a promise to fight for the badge on the front of the shirt and for the brother standing next to them. It was a brotherhood forged in the fires of shared struggle and collective ambition. Declan Rice became the team's heartbeat in midfield. Bukayo Saka played with a joy and courage that was infectious. When a goal was scored, the celebration was never individualistic. Arteta had created a family. He knew the players not just as athletes, but as people. When the final whistle blew on that sun-drenched May afternoon in 2025 and Arsenal were officially crowned champions, it was the culmination of a journey from despair to elation. In a footballing world, increasingly dominated by eye-watering finances, this felt like a victory for something more organic. A whole new generation of fans now had their own moment. After the longest and darkest of winters, spring can and will eventually arrive.